It's Week 11 of the NFL, and we've got Luke Schoonmaker. He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week. It's the Cowboys and the Texans, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
We are just about 10 miles south of downtown. You get a look inside NRG Stadium in Houston, the home of the Texans. Two teams in this one going in the right direction. Thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen. Greg, both these squads come in off winning streaks. Someone's going to have to give, but you love having that momentum coming into a game like this.
And absolutely right, Mike. And on top of it, if you're the home team today playing in front of your home crowd, not only are you coming off this win streak and bringing this momentum into another home game, but you get the energy, you get the excitement of your crowd who's also riding this wave of winning football. But on the other sideline, you've got a hungry, hot road team that's looking in saying, all right, if you don't take us serious today, we're going to try to extend our winning streak of our own and get back onto this plane and go home with another win under our belt.
This one taken at the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. So that Cowboy offense takes the field, ready to go to work for the first time. They are led out by their quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Really solid all-around performance last week, Mike, and I think the biggest factor that led to the win is his ability.
Right to the air is Prescott. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Operating from the gun, here's Dak. Catch is made. That is Schoonmaker.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains. Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
The Houston offense heading out to the field for the first time. They're led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2023. From Ohio State, it's C.J. Stroud.
Well, I don't think that stat line last week had him up for any sort of awards. If I had to guess, he'd much rather have a modest game and a win as opposed to throwing for a bunch of touchdowns in a loss. The biggest thing that he did, Mike, he took care of the ball. So as long as he continues to do that, they're going to have a chance to keep on winning.
Here's a 2nd and 6.
Second and 6 at the 31-yard line.
On play action, Stroud. They go right back to Collins. He's got it again. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
These are the chunk plays they thought they could get here against this pass defense. They thought the passing game favored their offense in this matchup, and I think we can expect this to be the case the rest of the game.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. First carry for Joe Mixon. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. There you get a look at his numbers on the ground a week ago as a part of their victory. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll go right back to Mixon. And he's going to have a first down. Good run down inside the 45-yard line.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
And that's the way you want to run it on first down. A gain of 7.
When they called that sweep, Mike, obviously they're thinking, let's pick up the first down. They didn't quite get to the chains, but I think they're going to be pretty happy with that game.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
Third down and 3 yards to go.
They'll try and run for this with Mixon.
Joe Mixon on the carry.
Well, we have an early decision here, Mike. How aggressive does this coach want to be on this fourth down try? I think you got to keep your offense out there. You have a prime opportunity to take the fight to them, extend this drive, and hopefully be able to come away with points.
Fourth down, and on comes Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal. This is going to be a 51-yard attempt. Fairbairn's kick is good. And the Texans are out to an early 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Cowboys offense going to take over now for the second time. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Dak. He's going to tuck it and go. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life. His speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on the big scramble. He's able to pick up the first down to keep the drive alive.
And that time, the pressure, too much. He'll go down.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Prescott. The open man is Tolbert.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
He was looking for Brandon Cooks with that pass. And it's going to be 4th down. Here's the punter now. He's on for the 2nd time. We'll try to get something inside the 10. A fair catch signaled and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Texans offense and running back Joe Mixon heading out onto the field. And as we move into the second half of the season, you can see he's the NFL leader in rushing touchdowns. On 1st down, it's Stroud. Diggs on the reception. And he's got it to the 35-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it. Number one rule of run blocking for the offensive line is you don't want to allow penetration. It just doesn't give your running back any angles to cut and find the hole. It's exactly how it played out here. They've got to do a better job holding the line of scrimmage and not getting pushed back.
To throw is Stroud. Trying the right side. Taken in by Collins. And he very close to a first down, but it doesn't look like he got there. And yes, they're going to mark him a yard short. So on fourth down, on comes Tommy Townsend to punt for Houston. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. So now here are the Cowboys. Their offense ready to make their way back onto the field. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. A first carry now for Rico Dowdle. And a nice gain there on 1st down. He takes it forward for 8 yards. Here's 2nd and 2. Prescott. He's got a man. It's CeeDee Lamb. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
They get 22 yards there. That's good for a Dallas 1st down.
Now this is the epitome of a really short throw and a really nice run after catch. And listen, for a quarterback, it all counts the same. You don't always have to throw the ball downfield to generate explosive plays, and these drag routes can be very, very effective.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. To the air again. Prescott gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down. They'll throw again. Dak. And he puts his head down, and he picks up the 1st down.
The most impressive thing about this drive, Mike, has really just been their efficiency. They've just continued to pick up 1st downs, fresh sets of downs. We just saw there, but that 3rd down conversion, continue to possess the ball. These opportunities to come away with points continue to go up. All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
Taking off, and he'll get this forward for positive yardage as he covers up in the end. So just a lone field goal in the 1st quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. And more from Houston coming up in a moment. Backfield empties. 5 receivers in the formation for 3rd down and 5. Back to throw is Prescott. That is caught. Cooks gets the grab. Give him 14 on that one. 1st down, Cowboys.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
To the left side, caught by Lamb.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere.
It is brought in the end zone. Jalen Tolbert, touchdown Cowboys. That touchdown number 1 for him on the year. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand, but you have to win as a receiver quickly and give the quarterback somewhere to go with the ball. It was that quickness at the line of scrimmage that led to that touchdown.
He fields it at the 8. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Now the return man is a bit slow getting up after that kick. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now, Stroud. A short throw pulled in by Schultz.
The drag route, we used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
A 2nd down throw for Stroud. And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if some point here in the future, Mike, this quarterback drops back. It looks like the same old hitch route underneath, and they give a pump fake and go. You can lull a defense to sleep with a lot of these underneath quick game passes, and once you do, you can try to go for the big one.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4.
2nd and 4 at the 46-yard line.
Here's a give up the middle to Mixon. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. They'll come up to 3rd and 3. Again, they'll give it to Mixon. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Cowboys offense ready for this next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins. Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down. Here's Prescott. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. Stephon Diggs and the rest of the Houston offense set to take over again. As we play here in the month of November, worth noting he's putting together a campaign to remember, the NFL's leader amongst wideouts in receiving touchdowns. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. That's caught. It's Joe Mixon. 17 yards on that play. It's good for a Texans 1st down.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass, get past the 1st down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can drop all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
To the left side, and caught by Schultz.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
And he is planted in the backfield. Defenders crashing through, blow up that play behind the line. First down away to the 26-yard line. And here's third down. From the gun, here's Stroud. Under pressure, and down he goes. They got him.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens. The danger of trying these long field goals. Remember, Mike, if you miss, the other team gets the ball at the spot of the kick. So it's going to end up setting them up for great field position as they start this next drive.
The Cowboys offense ready to see what they can do. They'll begin with terrific starting field position. It gets going with 1st and 10. Throwing is Prescott. He'll let this go deep for the end zone. That'll be batted away. Incomplete. Coverage very strong defensively. It's second down. Pistol now for Prescott. This pass right side caught by Lamb. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up third down. Operating from the gun. Here's Dak. Got a man. That's Tolbert. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot.
First down, Cowboys.
Prescott again. Catch is made. That is Schoonmaker. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
1st and 10. Again, Prescott to the air. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds. Second down and 3. Now Dowdle. And no place to go, no place to hide. He's taken down behind the line. "7-3 is the score. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Greg and I back from Houston in a moment. On third down, Prescott. Quick throw here is complete. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points. From the shotgun, it's Dak. And he's in. Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, Dallas. On for the PAT is Aubrey. The kick is good. And the Cowboys extend their advantage to 14-3. So now, after the touchdown, out is Aubrey to kick this one away. Now return coming from the 7. and he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Houston offense going to make their way back onto the field. They trail now 14-3, so an 11-point deficit as they start things out with 1st and 10. To the sideline, and what a catch, and what a great job to keep the feet alive. Inbounds as good as you can do it. A gain there of 27 yards.
Nice way to start the drive here. Really good protection by the guys up front. Good decision by the quarterback to find his read. Ball's accurate, ball's on time. Now they're able to start this drive and get on the move the right way.
On 1st down, it's Stroud. That'll be taken in by Mixon. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Throwing is Stroud. The open man is Johnston. He's got it. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9. Here's Stroud. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Stroud. That's over the middle and caught by Collins. And he'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Stroud to throw. He gets this one complete to Johnston. Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. Jaime Fairbairn coming on to try the field goal. This from extra point range, a 33-yard field goal attempt. Fairbairn's kick is good. And the Texans cut the lead to 4. It's 10-6.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well. You're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this 1st half of play. So we reach halftime, and the visiting Cowboys are in front. As we'll send you over to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman standing by. He's got the EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Michael, we'll get back to you and Greg in just a little bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll begin just outside Washington at Commanders Field in Landover, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jaden Daniels, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Bryce Young, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. These 2 teams making their way back out of their locker room, so that means we're just about set for the 2nd half. And to bring it your way, we go back out to Mike and Greg.
3rd quarter set to commence. And we're back underway here on EA Sports. From the 6, here comes a return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. The Texans offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he continues to be a thorn in the side of defenses trying to stop him. Currently 2nd in the NFL in rushing. Brought in by the tight end, Schultz. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. They face 2nd down and 7.
At the 37-yard line.
Back to throw, Stroud. Open man, downfield, it's Nico Collins. 6 catches for him in the ballgame now. This one's good for a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
And he's out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25-yard line. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. Here's Stroud. That one complete to Johnston. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud.
Pretty unforgettable performance so far in the first half, Mike, and they're going to try to figure this out here in the second half and try to gain some momentum. Figure out what's going to work, where are our matchups, and let's go try to put a drive together and get some points, because so far this has been a struggle, and they just cannot get anything going through the air.
Here's 1st and 10. They will work the middle with Mixon. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Now first carry here for Keaton Mitchell. With good blocking leading the way, he's got the first down inside the 25. Off the play fake. Here's Stroud. That is brought in at the 10. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Texans.
Just a beautiful ball there by the quarterback. And the point I want to make here, Mike, and make sure the viewer understands, is in the NFL, if you have to wait for a guy to be open and then deliver the ball, it's too late. So often these quarterbacks throw their guy open. They anticipate where the void in the coverage is going to be. That's exactly the reason this play worked out here, Mike, and he's able to connect here for a big touchdown.
And he will get in for the 2. They open up the bag of tricks on the goal line and add a pair of points. So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here's Dak Prescott, and the Cowboy offense set to go again. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Nice gain on first down, but the penalty flags come in. And the question now, will the play stand? Here's a carry for Dowdle. And he'll move this ahead for about 4 yards. It is Azeez Al-Shire with the stop. On second down, it's Dak. Open down the field is Schoonmaker. And he'll be brought down up around the 38-yard line.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. On the ground, it's Dowdle. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
And they'll take this down inside the 35.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that can all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. They'll run with Dowdle. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Mike, this is a guy that you do not want to have to tackle in space. I mean, the footwork, the agility, the ability to go side to side and then still have the burst and explosiveness to pick up big yards. I mean, this guy's a handful.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. A shotgun snap for Prescott. There's that man again. Another catch. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team. They'll try to run this one in. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Come a little closer. Here's 2nd and goal. Now give on the ground. He slams it in there, and he is in. Touchdown, Cowboys. And hold on to that football, young man. That's a keeper. His 1st NFL touchdown.
That just feels like a big drive, doesn't it, Mike? Here in the 2nd half, you got a tie ball game. Now you're able to get out in front. Let's see how this other team responds, having to play from behind.
We got a ton of time, Greg, but a little momentum feel. Come out of the locker room, take the lead. Now it's up to the other team to climb uphill. So great way, perfect way to get this 2nd half started. So now, after the touchdown, out is Aubrey to kick this one away. Isaiah Rodgers now to return it. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Texans offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had trouble getting on track in this one. Really limited space to find an opening. The defensive front stopping him multiple times. Generally, he has not been a big factor in this game to this point. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Man in motion, it's Diggs. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throwaway.
This is where the playmaking ability almost can be a detriment to a running quarterback. They have such confidence in their ability to keep plays alive with their legs that sometimes they hold it just a little bit too long, thinking they can make the next big play. And good job by the defenders tracking him down and took him down for a loss.
3rd and long. From the gun, here's Stroud. Now a deep ball here for Collins. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans getting all set to punt. The fair catch here, called for and made beyond the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott set to take over again. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position, instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. Pistol now for Prescott. A quick slant taken by Lamb. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. On the ground, it's Vaughn. And he'll get maybe a yard. That's it. Damone Clark there to get him down. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Operating from the gun, here's Dak. And he's going to get there. He got the 1st down, not by a whole lot, but that'll keep this drive rolling.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
And nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line.
The reason teams love calling the quarterback's number on design quarterback runs, Mike, is because in the blocking scheme, you gain 1 additional blocker. It didn't matter here. The defense was ready for it, and they're able to bring the quarterback down for a loss.
And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. Throwing is Prescott. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll begin on the ground, and here's Mixon. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. So, 3 quarters now in the books. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Stroud. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
They need one right now. 3rd and long. Now Stroud. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the 1st down.
When you throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you're relying heavily on the yards after the catch. So give credit to the defense here. Once the ball carrier had the ball, multiple guys around him, corralled him, take him down short of the sticks.
That is fielded at the 20. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The visitors' offense about ready to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Carry here for Vaughn. And a short pickup past the 25. Here's 2nd and 9. Prescott now. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll run here with Vaughn. And he'll get about 5 past the 30-yard line. The Cowboys get their special teams out on the field as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a 4th quarter lead. A fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line. Texans offense starting to trot out for this next possession. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mixon. And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard. Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. Trying the right side. Taken in by Collins.
Holding offense.
The Texans set to punt this one away. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. They'll do so with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Dak. That's into the hands of the veteran Cooks. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 30. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Here's Dak to throw. Off he goes. We'll get a stoppage here. There is an injured Cowboy. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Dak's going to throw it here on 1st down. That's to the right side and incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out front.
And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
Big-time completion right there, and this isn't just a spot where they're trying to run the game out here in the 4th quarter. They were not only trying to pick up points, but they're trying to get in the end zone and extend this lead. So really nice job here late. We're going to see if they can put this one out of reach.
Dak to throw. That's to the end zone, but they can't connect. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to C.D. Lamb. And it'll be 2nd and goal. A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll get about halfway there. That's a gain of 2, down to the 2. 3rd and goal. They'll run. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Rico Dowdle. Touchdown, Dallas. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
So now, after the touchdown, out is Aubrey to kick this one away. On the return is Rodgers. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. C.J. Stroud and the Houston offense set to get going again. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Terrific start to this drive. Gain of 23 and a first down.
This is an element to his game that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. He's not known as a traditional runner at the quarterback position. But when he has some space like he had here, he is more than capable of not only converting first downs, but picking up big chunk plays. And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Nico Collins was the intended receiver there, and it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing is Stroud. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they're going to mark him inside the 10-yard line. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 36 yards.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
They'll run with Mitchell. And that's a nice pickup, bringing it down to the 3. Here now, second down and goal.
Brings up second and goal.
Go with their fullback trying to get it. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up third and goal. Man in motion, it's Diggs. They'll try and run with Mixon. And he will score. Game on. Joe Mixon. Touchdown, Houston. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
And that is incomplete. 2-point conversion attempt winds up being unsuccessful.
Mike, there's not a lot of ways to break this play down other than saying you get the wide open target, you have the play you want, you're aggressive going for 2, you just got to catch the ball.
This one taken at the 7. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to take over possession of the football. The advantage is 8. We'll see if they can make this a 2-score game on this drive. First down and 10. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. Second down and 8. Now Prescott. A throw there on second down, going to be incomplete.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender, and you're just saying box him out and go up for an offensive rebound and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they continue to get that matchup, This quarterback's not going to shy away from giving his big tight end a shot.
12 yards on that hookup. That's good for a Dallas first down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
Now Vaughn. He's beyond midfield to the 45. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 26-yard line. A huge play for Dallas. 33 yards. Now Dowdle. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Going to lose a yard. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. They'll stick with him again. And he will not be able to get free, picking up only a yard. Now it's 3rd down. They'll try to get this one on the ground. He'll carry this one inside the 20, into the red zone. Give him 8 on that carry. So, pressure kick coming now for Brandon Aubrey. This to make it a 2-possession lead. And this one right down the middle. It's good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? You're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and C.J. Stroud ready to get to work once more. Here's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Collins. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. On 1st down, it's Stroud. The open man is Johnston. He's got it. They'll come up now for 2nd down. To throw is Stroud. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Deron Bland, good coverage, and he gets his hands on that one. From the gun here on 3rd down, it's Stroud. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down. This one has plenty of leg. It is good. And they are indeed back within 1 score.
Firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit. That was their last shot. They've got no timeouts left. Now the offense can just simply come take the field. Best play in football, Mike. Victory formation, take a couple knees, get on with the win.
The Cowboys offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll have a short field looking to build on the lead. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to an E. 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to an E. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.